Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Those of you who are used to the 9 a.m. class, I hope you didn't get too confused and you have a new teacher today. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tali, and I normally teach Hatha Vinyasa. I teach Yin as well in the evenings. And today we're going to be going through a heart opening vinyasa. So there will be a little bit more emphasis on backbending. Backbends in general are really energizing for the morning. And also on a more energetic level, backbends are good to encourage us to lead with our hearts instead of our heads. So we're encouraging this sort of opening our heart motion so that our shoulders aren't collapsed inward, and we're not too much in our heads on that kind of level. So we also will be practicing 2 different pranayama techniques today. Pranayama means breath control, so 2 different breathing techniques to help bring us to the present moment as well as energize the body for the day. So wherever you are, find a comfortable seat, either with your legs crossed in Sukhasana or maybe in half lotus, maybe sitting up on a cushion to keep your spine erect. Just making sure that your spine is straight here. Sit bones are down on the floor. Your shoulders are relaxed. Palms are on your knees, face down. And begin to close your eyes. Starting to relax into our body, tuning in. Just noticing any sensations that we feel in the body, any tension, maybe some drowsiness. Just noticing what state we're in. And beginning to breathe in through the nose, feeling the cool air come in, filling our lungs. And breathing out through the nose, slowly and deeply. Maybe the air is warmer on the way out. Again, taking a breath in through the nose, filling our lungs, allowing it to come into our lower belly, expanding the lower belly. And exhale slowly through the nose, emptying our lower belly, allowing our bodies to relax. Keep taking a few deep breaths through the nose together, observing the pathway of your breath coming in through the nose and filling your lower belly. Just feeling the sensations. Feeling that with every inhale, we breathe in new energy, clean air, energizing us, cleansing our body. And on the exhale, we breathe out any tension, any stale energy left in the body, relaxing us deeper, relaxing our shoulders. Using our breath as an anchor to always bring us back to this present moment whenever we find our mind wandering. Keeping us in our body, in a body-centered presence. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And we will begin with Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi is also known as oceanic breathing or ocean breath. because it sounds like an ocean. And so I'll demonstrate for you just so you hear. I hope the AirPods made that possible for you guys to hear, but I'll demonstrate how we can do it and then we can practice it together. Ujjayi also means victory. So it's victory over our thoughts, over our mind, victory over what was and what will be, from the knowledge that both of these things are illusions and that the only truth is here right now. So Ujjayi is a very effective way, one of the most effective ways that the yogic tradition has to offer to bring us back here in this moment. And the way we practice it is by constricting the back of the throat. So first I'll show you on the exhale. Imagine as if you're fogging up a mirror or a window right in front of you. So taking a breath in, and then opening your mouth, breathing out, fogging up a window. And if you have that down, then we're going to practice that with our mouth closed. Breathing in, deep breath. Hearing the sound of the ocean as if you're placing a seashell by your ear. It's a similar sound. And now from here, we're going to do the same thing on the inhale. So usually the inhale might be a little bit more difficult to begin with if you're new to Ujjayi breathing, but don't worry about it. With time, you'll get it. So inhaling, constricting the back of the throat, taking a deep breath. And exhaling in the same way. We'll do this a few times. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. And keep going for a few more rounds. I'm just going to explain while you're breathing what's actually happening. And what's happening is that you're constricting your throat to about 1/3 of its original size. And doing this, we're controlling something. We're controlling the breath, which is normally an autonomic function in the body. It's something that we do all day, at every moment, subconsciously, right? We don't control it. So when we learn to gain control over something that we normally do without realizing subconsciously, we also learn to take back our control, to be in control in other areas of our life. So this is something you can practice every day, whenever you want. And also, you can keep this and practice while you're practicing asana, yoga practice, to help you bring yourself away from your thoughts and back to the present moment. The next pranayama we're going to practice is called Bhastrika. Bhastrika also means bellows breath. And Bhastrika is really great to energize the body. It's something we want to do in the morning. We wouldn't want to do it in the evening. It can be a bit intense. It can feel a bit intense when we do it in the body, but don't be scared. It's very energizing. It's great for people who have difficulty waking up in the morning. It's great for people who just tend to be low energy, who suffer from depression or just drowsiness, fatigue. And it's also great to clean toxins in the body, cleaning out your lungs as well. So it's really, really effective pranayama. And this is how we do it. It goes through the nose only. So on the inhale, we reach our arms up, take an inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, we close our fists and bring our elbows down. Inhaling, reaching up high. And exhaling, bringing them down. So it's kind of like a pulsing motion. Inhale. And exhale. And if you have high blood pressure or you suffer from heart disease, do this very slowly. Otherwise, we're going to begin to pick up the pace. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. Grabbing the thing that you want most in the world and bringing it towards you. You can close your eyes. Keep going. Notice where you find resistance. How your mind reacts when you meet resistance. Breathe through it. It's worth it. Almost there. And slowly release your hands, slowly as possible. Down back into your lap, closing your eyes. And just tuning into your body, observing the effects, observing the energy in your body. Taking a few moments in stillness. Noticing our change in awareness. And gently opening your eyes. This is something you can practice at any point in the day. I wouldn't practice it at night because it's very energizing. But if you feel fatigue, if you feel like you've been sitting at a desk for too long, this is a great practice to re-energize your body and your mind, bring clarity to your mind, sharpening the brain. So you can feel free to practice this at home in your own time as well. And we're going to move into a little warm up. So you can stay seated where you were or sitting on your knees. We're just going to start to roll out the neck, bringing our right ear to our right shoulder and then back. Just making some circular, gentle motions, warming up our neck, and then turning it the other way, go in the other direction. Making sure that we're not straining our neck too much. We're being mindful with our movement. And now the same thing with the shoulders. So we're just going to start rolling the shoulders up and back, lubricating the shoulder joints. And switching directions, so this time forward. And we're going to meet in the child's pose. So we're going to take a wide child's pose here. So your knees are slightly apart. And we're going to sit our hips back onto our heels, stretch our arms out forward, and plant our forehead on the mat. Just taking a breath here. Deep inhale to the belly. And exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. Another inhale into the lower belly. And exhaling through the mouth. Now starting to walk your hands towards the left side of your body. Walking your right arm, stretching it out in front of you, and walking it as far left as possible. Feeling the stretch in the right side body. Breathing here for a moment. And then walking your hands back to center. Walking them towards the right side of the body. Extending that left arm, feeling the stretch in the left side body. Breathing here. And walking them back to center. We're going to meet in a tabletop position. So our shoulders are over our wrists, our fingers are spread wide, gripping the mat, pressing our chest away from the mat, and our hips are over our knees. The tops of our feet are down. We're going to take a few cat-cows here to warm up the spine. So on the inhale, we drop our belly, lift our tailbone, open our chest, and look up. And on the exhale, we tuck our tailbone under, rounding our back, bringing our chin to our chest. Inhaling, dropping the belly, opening the chest, stretching the throat back. And exhale, rounding our spine, pressing the floor away from us. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat, pushing the floor away. Inhale to cow, opening the chest. And exhale to cat. From this place, we're going to be in a tabletop position, and we're going to step the right foot forward in between our palms. From here, we're going to turn the back heel towards the back of the room so that our knee is facing towards the computer screen or whatever you're looking at. From here, we're going to inhale our arms up, coming into a modified warrior two. So our arms are outstretched on both sides of our body, our shoulders away from the ears, and our knee is not caving in, so it's coming towards the back of the room. Breathing here for a moment, extending through the crown of the head. And exhaling, resting the right forearm and sweeping the left arm overhead, opening the chest and gazing at the left fingertips. On the inhale, we come back up to warrior two. And on the exhale, we rest our left fingertips on the mat and sweep our right arm overhead, opening our chest towards the sky. Inhale back to center. And exhale, this time, if you have the flexibility, you can place your hand on the inside of your right knee. Otherwise, just resting your palm here. And sweeping the arm up to side angle pose. Inhale back to center. And exhale, reversing it. One more time, inhale back to center. Exhale, side angle. Opening the chest towards the sky. Inhaling back to center. And exhale, reversing the warrior. The warriors are a great way to just warm up the body before we do the actual warriors, which we will be doing later. And from here, what we're going to do is just straighten out the right leg and point the toes towards the screen so that the back of our foot, our right foot, is actually gripping the mat. From this place, we're going to place our left palm on the left side of our body, making sure that our shoulder is over our wrist. On the inhale, we lift the right arm up, gazing at the right fingertips, and then seeing maybe if we can lift the left foot off the mat, bringing it in line with the body, making sure that we're not having a banana spine here, so we're bringing our left foot back in line with the hip, pressing into the mat through our left palm, balancing here, Everything that's touching the mat, we're using to stabilize us. And from this place, we're going to bend the right knee and see if we can grab the outside of the right ankle. If we can, if we have the balance, we're going to inhale and kick into the right palm, opening up our chest, arching our back. And gently releasing back. We're going to come back into a tabletop position. Still bending the knee in front of us and sweeping it back. This time, we're going to inhale the left knee forward, stepping it in between the palms. I'm going to show you on the other side, it's easier. From here, we're going to turn the knee towards the camera and the toes to the back of the room, making sure that our knee is in line with the heel here. We're going to inhale up to warrior two, arms stretched out on both sides of our body, shoulders away from the ears. External rotation in the front knee. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. And exhaling, coming into side angle on the left side, opening up our chest towards the sky. Inhaling, warrior two. And exhaling, releasing the fingertips to the mat and gazing at the left fingertips overhead, opening the chest. Inhaling back to center. And exhale, you can release the palm all the way to the mat if you like. And breathe. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling all the way back. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to side angle pose. Great job. Inhaling back to center, releasing the palms to the hips, and now straightening the left leg so it's out on the side of us. We want to turn the toes towards the camera so the outside of the left foot is towards the camera now. And from here, we're going to release our right palms to the mat, making sure that our shoulder is in line with the wrist. And pressing into the mat with our right palm, we're going to lift the left leg up, bringing it in line with the body, making sure it's not escaping backwards, but that our entire body is in one line. So we really feel the extension from the heel through the crown of the head. And then inhaling our arm up, maybe gazing at our left fingertips if it feels right. From here, we're going to try and bend the back knee if we have the balance, grabbing the outside of the left ankle, and inhaling, opening up the chest, kicking into that back left palm, breathing here, getting in our first half back bend, gently releasing. Coming back to tabletop position. From here, we're going to tuck our toes under, press into the palms, and lift up and back to our first downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out the feet here, warming up the hamstrings that are probably very tight after sleeping. And then settling our heels back, we want to check in with our alignment here. So the idea in downward dog is that our spine is absolutely straight. We want to lengthen the spine. So that means we need to bend our knees. That's totally fine. And usually that's the way it is in the beginning. Slowly with time, you'll be able to lower your heels towards the mat, but feel free to bend your knees. We want to make sure that our entire palm is gripping the mat. The fingers are spread as wide as possible. Our forearms are firmed inward. And our shoulder blades are spread wide. Tucking our tummy in and lifting our hips up and back. On the next inhale, we're going to bend our knees, look forward, and slowly step to the front of our mat, bringing our feet about hip distance apart. We're going to bring the hands to the shins, lengthening the spine, half lift. And exhale, we're going to allow the whole upper body to drop, grabbing opposite elbows, and just releasing here for a few moments, allowing the head to be heavy. Relaxing the facial muscles. Letting go of any tension, any resistance. And now allow yourself to relax for a few more moments. Just keep breathing for a moment. And from here, we're going to release our palms down to the mat and slowly begin to roll up our spine, vertebrae after vertebrae. Shoulders rolling back and our head coming up last. From here, we're going to do 2 rounds of sun salutations to energize the body. So on the inhale, we're going to lift our arms all the way up to the sky, overhead, opening our chest, gazing up at the fingertips. And in the exhale, we come down with a straight back to Uttanasana, forward fold. Now, in Uttanasana as well, the idea is to lengthen the spine, and we don't want such a round spine. So if you need to bend your knees, do so. Just holding here and breathing here for a moment. Inhale, hands come to the shins for half lift. Neck is long. And exhale, we bring our hands to frame our feet and step 1 foot at a time back to plank pose. From plank, we're going to lower our knees and come all the way down to the belly. Pressing our palms into the ground and bringing our elbows closer to each other. We're going to open up to cobra, keeping our pelvis on the mat. And breathing here for a moment, maybe stretching the neck back if it feels right. On the exhale, slowly release the chest back to the mat. Press the palms into the mat. Push yourselves back. Tucking our toes under and lifting our hips back up to downward facing dog. Feeling as if we're stretching the mat between our hands and our feet. Firming the forearms in. Creating space in the collarbone. On the inhale, we bend our knees, look forward, and step to the front of our mat, coming straight into half lift, lengthening our spine. Weight is on the balls of the feet. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, Urvastasana. And exhale, hands to heart. One more time, pace is a little faster this time. Inhale, arms all the way up, opening the chest, gazing at the fingertips, maybe slight arch in the back. And exhale, coming all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, lengthen the neck. And exhale, coming back to plank. In plank, our shoulders are above our wrists. Our weight is shifting back slightly to the heels. Now from here, we're going to come into Chaturanga or modified Chaturanga. So we're going to shift our weight forward towards the balls of the feet. And we're going to bend our elbows so that we create a 90-degree angle here. If this is too hard, you can do the same with bent knees. On the inhale, we sweep through to upward facing dog. This time the pelvis is off the mat. And exhale, downward dog. Breathing here, taking full breaths, observing the inhale and the end of the inhale and the end of the exhale. Pressing through the mat, pressing your heels back towards the floor. And on the next inhale, we bend our knees and come forward to the front of our mat, straight into half lift. And Uttanasana. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Placing our hands on the hips. On the next inhale, we flex our right foot and lift our right knee, stepping it all the way back and turning towards the right knee. The back of our foot is parallel with the short side of the mat. The alignment is either heel to heel or heel to arch. On the inhale, we lengthen our arms up, away from the shoulders. And on the exhale, we bend our front knee. Pressing through that front foot, through all four corners, keeping the leg and the hamstrings active, keeping an external rotation in the front leg. So the knee is coming towards the back of the room. Inhaling here, extending from the base of the spine through the crown of the head. And exhaling, resting the right forearm on the right thigh, sweeping the left arm overhead. Inhaling, coming back up to warrior two. And this is the same sequence we did modified previously. And exhale, two reverse warriors, sweeping the left fingertips down the left leg, opening the chest up towards the sky. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, reverse warrior. Making sure that that front knee is still bent. Inhale, back up to warrior two. And exhale, this time we hold side angle. So if you want to take a different version, you can either place your hand on the inside of your right foot, sweeping your arm up overhead. Or if you like to take a bind here, you're a little bit more flexible, you can do that as well. Opening up the chest towards the sky, not compromising that chest lifting. So peeling the left shoulder back if you're in the bind. Otherwise, breathing where you are. Both legs are active here. Breathe, full breath. And on the next inhale, slowly release the bind. Come back wherever you were. Straighten the front leg. And release the hands to the hips. Coming to the long side of our mat, we're going to keep our feet parallel, but our toes outward from that place. And keeping our hands on our hips. On the inhale, we lift our arms by our sides. And on the exhale, we start to squat. So bending our knees and bringing our knees towards the back of the room so they're not caving in like this. Tucking our tailbone under here, making sure that our head is over our heart and our heart is over our hips. So we're not leaning forward either. From this place, we're going to sweep the right arm under the left, coming into eagle arms. And really pressing into the ground with those 2 feet, active, engaging. Breathing here, tapping into your willpower, your sense of stability. Keep breathing. And gently release the legs, gently release the arms, bringing them back to the hips. And just turn your feet inward. So now your feet are parallel, but the toes are slightly in. And they don't need to be slightly in, but it allows for a little bit more range of motion in the next posture. You might need to widen your stance a little bit. So on the inhale, we draw the shoulder blades close to each other and open our chest. And on the exhale, we come down with a straight back, placing our palms in the same line as our feet if possible. If not possible, then a little bit in front of our feet. And if we're a little bit more flexible, we can bring our palms back and create this sort of 90-degree angle like in chaturanga, hugging the elbows in towards each other so we don't want them splaying out towards the sides. Pressing our palms into the earth, coming up for a half lift, straightening our spine, and exhaling, coming deeper into the pose. Allowing our weight to shift towards the balls of our feet here. And just breathing. On the inhale, we bring the hands to the hips and we come up slowly. Heel toeing the feet a little bit closer to each other and turning our left foot towards the front of the mat on the left side. Checking in with our alignment, so it's either heel to arch or heel to heel. Heel to arch usually allows for a bit more balance. Inhaling, we raise the arms by our sides, and exhale, we bend the front knee. Inhale, extend from the base of the spine through the crown of the head, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, we come into side angle on the left side, opening our chest towards the sky, gazing at our right fingertips. And on the inhale, we come back to center. Exhale, we lift the left arm, opening our chest. Inhale, warrior two. Making sure our knees not caving in, always keeping our legs active. And exhale to side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, we hold side angle. So here, if you want to go deeper, you can place the palm on the inside of your left foot or come into the bind on the left side, making sure you're not compromising the opening of your chest. So peeling the right shoulder back, gazing towards the ceiling, keeping that front and back leg active. And breathing, listening to your breath. Using it to keep you away from your thoughts. On the next inhale, we release the bind if we were in the bind. Otherwise, we straighten our leg, come back up, releasing the hands back to the hips and bringing the feet to be parallel again. We're coming into goddess pose again. So toes are slightly out. Inhaling the arms up by our sides, shoulders away from the ears. And exhaling, we begin to bend our knees down again. Bringing our knees towards the back of the room, tuning into our sense of stability. And this time, sweeping the left arm under the right, coming into eagle on the other side. Again, making sure that that tailbone is tucked under and we're not leaning forward, engaging the core. And breathing. Meeting our resistance and breathing through it. Using our breath to bring softness even when we're challenged. And when we bring softness to challenges, we become a lot more flexible in our daily lives. Gently releasing the palms, releasing the knees, straightening them. Bringing our feet to be parallel, toes are slightly inward, and hands are on the hips. And this time we're going to release our hands, interlock our fingers behind our back if possible. If not possible, you can stay with your hands on your hips. And on the inhale, we're going to draw our shoulder blades together, open our chest, lengthen our spine. And exhale, slowly start to shift our weight forward towards the balls of our toes, of our feet, and stretching the arms overhead, opening up the shoulders. Breathing here, bringing the roots of our palms closer to one another. And allowing the head to drop heavy. Just finding our breath in this posture. Using every inhale to come up a little bit, and every exhale to come deeper into the pose. On the inhale, we begin to release our palms and bring them down to the mat in the same line as our feet. This time we walk our palms towards the left foot, grabbing the outside of our left ankle with our right palm, and inhaling, lifting that left arm towards the sky, coming into a twist, opening that chest, and breathing. And gently releasing. Coming through to center and all the way to the right heel, grabbing that outside of the right heel with the left palm. Inhaling, the right arm comes up. And exhale back to center. Bringing our hands to our hips and coming up with a straight back. Heel toeing our feet in towards each other. And meeting in the front of our mat. Bringing our hands to prayer at the center of our heart and just taking a moment to close our eyes and tune into our body. Noticing the flow of energy. Maybe noticing the difference between what we feel now and what we feel at the start of our practice. On the inhale, we reach our arms up overhead, opening our chest, maybe a slight arch in the spine here. And exhale, coming down with a straight back, all the way to Uttanasana. Inhale, coming up for half lift. And exhale, all the way back to Chaturanga. Inhaling, flip the tops of the feet down to upward facing dog. Opening the chest, bringing the shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing back through the palms, bringing the weight back into the heels. On the next inhale, we lift the right leg, but keeping our hips in line with each other, so we're not opening them up. We're actually bringing the right hip down. And on the exhale, we bring the right foot and step it in between our palms, lowering that back knee down. From here, we see if we can balance on the right knee. See if that's possible for us by engaging the front foot. So we're pressing through all four corners of that front foot to engage our thighs and our hamstrings and keep us stable. From here, this is optional, making sure that our knee is over our ankle. We want to see if we can maybe bend that back knee. And if that feels fine for us, then we're going to reach our left arm back. And at first, maybe grab the top of the foot from the outside. And then if that feels fine, we might want to stay here. It might be a stretch for us here. If that feels fine, we're going to turn the base of our palm towards the top of our toes and start to bring our foot in towards our spine. Taking an inhale here, bringing it back out. Extending our spine, stabilizing through our front leg. And exhaling, bringing it back in towards the spine. Stretching that upper front thigh. Deep stretch. One more time, inhale. And exhale, bring it back in. Gently releasing that back leg. We're going to come into a low lunge on Vinyasa. So on the inhale, we are going to interlace our fingers except for the index finger, reaching our arms up, allowing our hips maybe to sink a little bit more towards that front leg, opening them up a little bit, but still stabilizing using that front leg, tucking our tailbone down and engaging our core as we make a slight back bend here. On the exhale, we bring our palms together and straighten that front leg, making sure that our back hip is over our knee. We want to inhale here, extend the spine. And on the exhale, see if we can come forward, thinking of forward and down options. So not rounding our spine here. We don't want to bring our forehead to our knee, but we're imagining our chest is coming towards our thigh. Our belly is coming towards our thigh. Looking forward here if we need to, feeling that stretch. Maybe extending our arms a bit outward. And using our breath to really allow us to fall deeper into this pose without forcing anything. And lastly, maybe releasing our head. From here, we step the foot down in between the palms, interlace our fingers again. This time we don't interlace except for the index, but we just bring our palms together. So coming up into Anjaneyasana, opening up the chest. And on the exhale, we bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, we extend from the base of the spine through the crown of the head. And exhale, we twist into the pose, bringing the palms to the center of our chest. Breathing here. Keeping our legs stable, pressing through that front foot and the back, the top of the back foot. And exhale, gently release, gaze downward. From here, we're going to inhale, tuck our back toes under, create space, push through our palms, and bring our right foot back to join the left. Maybe walking on our dog a little bit here, if that feels good. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift the left leg, keeping our hips leveled, pressing through the mat. And on the exhale, we step in between the palms, lowering the back knee, making sure that the front knee is over the ankle. We want to begin to see if we have the balance to just rest our left forearm on the left knee, without collapsing onto it. So really keeping our core active here. And if this is fine for us, we're going to see if we could bend that back leg. If we could do that, see if we can grab the ankle, either starting from the outside or going straight into it, bringing the base of the palm to the toes, to the tops of the feet. Inhaling here, extending the spine. And exhaling, pressing our foot closer towards our body. Inhale here, release. And exhale, bring it closer. Inhale, release. And exhale, last time, press it close towards the body. And then gently release. Interlocking our fingers except for the index finger on the inhale, we lift our arms up overhead, opening our chest, stabilizing through that front leg, the top of the back foot. Tailbone comes down, belly is in. And on the exhale, we bring our palms to prayer, straightening that front leg. Making sure to keep flexed in the front leg. So when we're stretching our muscles, we want them to be activated. Otherwise, injuries happen, and we don't want that. So making sure that our hips are over our knees. Inhaling here, lengthening our spine. And exhaling, beginning to come forward, bringing our belly towards our thigh. Thinking forward and down. And lastly, releasing the head. Breathing into the stretch. Making sure we're not pulling or forcing any sort of movement. And every day we feel different. So some days we might be more flexible than others. And that's okay. We have to be mindful, not have expectations of our body, but listen to it and give it exactly what it needs. On that inhale, we step that foot back down. Coming into Anjaneyasana, this time we don't interlock our fingers, we just bring our palms together. Inhaling up. And exhaling, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Extending from the base of the spine, inhale. And exhale, coming deeper into the twist. Bringing your palms to the center of our heart, opening up towards the side. Breathing. And gently releasing back down. Tucking the back toes under, pressing the palms into the mat, creating space and bringing the left leg to join the right, back into downward facing dog. Maybe taking a relaxing sigh here. And from this place, we're going to bend our knees and come forward all the way to seated, in whichever way you prefer. So placing our feet, our legs out straight in front of us. We're going to grab either the big toe, the outside of the foot, or if you need to bend your legs, you can do that. And grab the outside of your feet or your big toe, whatever you prefer. Inhaling here, opening our chest, lengthening our spine. And exhaling, we begin to come forward. So same here, we don't want too much rounding of the back, but we're thinking more forward and down. Breathing into it. Usually this pose is tight in the morning. I know I feel very tight right now. And breathing here without any force. And gently releasing the pose. From here, we're going to bend the right knee and step it on the outside of the left thigh. So we're going to come into a twist. This is okay if that's fine for you. If you want more, then you can bend your left knee, making sure that both of your hips are down on the mat. Placing our right arm in back of us to support our spine so we're not collapsing into it. On the inhale, we lift the left arm up, extending through the spine. And on the exhale, we bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and twist, gazing over that back shoulder. Every inhale to extend and lengthen. And every exhale to twist deeper. Gently releasing the elbow, releasing the twist. Now just resting your right knee on top of your left. So we're in a similar position that we just were. Now our right knee is just resting. It'll be easier to show you this way. Yes, so they're stacked. And on the inhale, we're gonna lift our left arm up towards the sky and bend our elbow, coming into cow face pose. So we can use our right palm to help center that left elbow towards the center of our back, opening up our shoulder a little bit deeper. And then we sweep our right arm underneath and see if we can meet our left fingertips. And if we can't, especially on this side, it's usually more difficult for most righties. You can also grab your shirt or you can use a strap if you have one next to you. But really try to meet those fingers as close as you can. And if your fingers are already clasped together, then we try to open our chest more and untuck our chin, creating a deeper stretch. And breathing here, deep stretch in the shoulders. Keep coming back to my Ujjayi breath. I wonder if any of you remembered it, for those of you who didn't know it before. And gently unclasping the fingers, releasing that back arm and coming back to center. So straightening both feet out in front of us one more time. This time we step the left foot on the outside of the right thigh, placing our left palm in the back of us, stabilizing and straightening our spine, making sure that both hands are on the mat here. Sorry, I didn't bend this leg, but for those of you who did so on the other side, do that. Inhaling that right arm up and lengthening from the base through the crown. Exhaling, elbow comes to the outside of the left knee, twist deeper and gaze over that left shoulder. And these twisting motions are supposed to happen from the bottom up. So really we start from the base of the spine, moving into the belly, then into the chest, shoulders, and lastly the head. So we're like squeezing a towel out. On the inhale, we gently release, stacking the left knee on top of the right this time. And lifting our right arm overhead, bending the elbow and using the left palm to help center it towards the middle of the spine. And sweeping the right arm underneath to meet the left. Usually the side might be a little bit more open. So if you're able to clasp your fingers, try and lift your chin. And just breathe here. Maybe closing your eyes. Help you tune in a little bit more. Taking your attention to the areas where you feel this in your body. And gently releasing the arms, gently releasing the legs. Maybe you want to lean back into that palms and just shake out those legs. Now we come to sitting on our knees. So we want our knees to be hip distance apart. And you have the option here either to tuck your toes under if you're a little tighter, usually, because we're coming into a back bend. Or if you're a little bit more flexible, you can untuck the toes. We're going to come up to sit on our shins or on our knees. Place our hands on our hips. And from here, we're going to go backwards, but it's really important that we don't collapse this way. We want to imagine as if there's a wall in front of us and our pelvis is glued to that wall. So as much as the upper part of our body is rounding, we keep the pelvis glued in the same position, and we do so by stabilizing through our legs. So our thighs are active. We're pressing through the tops of our feet or our toes. And maybe also imagining that there's like a big exercise ball in back of us. So we're thinking up and over, and we're not collapsing into the lower spine. So take an inhale here with your hands on your hips and draw your shoulder blades closer towards each other. Elbows come in. Extending the spine. And exhale, we begin to shift the weight backwards, keeping the bottom part of the body glued towards that wall. If you like, you can extend the neck here, but it's not mandatory if it's comfortable for you. And if you feel you can go further, maybe we can reach and try to get to those heels, opening up our chest a little bit more, lifting our sternum towards the sky, maybe releasing that chin. Imagining as if there's helium in our chest. We're pulling upward. Keep activating. And from this place, we're going to bring our chin back into our chest first, then bring our hands back to our hips and slowly begin to straighten our spine, sitting back on our heels. Maybe taking a child's pose for a moment here, stretching our arms out forward and stabilizing our lower spine. Maybe rolling our hips out a little bit. And coming back up to sit on our knees. So here you have two options as well. We're going to come into Virasana, which is also hero pose. So we're going to be sitting in between our feet. And for a lot of people, this is problematic, or not problematic, but you might feel a little pain in your knees. And if you do, you have either the option to sit on a block, which takes the pressure off the knees, or you can put the knees together. Now, if you feel pressure in your ankles, you can take a rolled up towel and just place them underneath so that you have some more padding over here, like this. Otherwise, we're going to sit in between our knees. Maybe take the flesh out of our calves to make it easier to sit. And from here, we have a few options. So if this is enough for us and we don't feel any pinching pain in the ankles or the knees, but we do feel stretch, and you can stay here. Otherwise, we're going to start to shift our weight backwards. So this will be the first stage. If this is enough for you, you can stop there. If you want a deeper stretch, you can come down to the elbows. And if you still want to go deeper, you have the option to go all the way down. Not necessary, but if you feel like you want the stretch and you need the stretch to be deeper. If you're all the way on the ground, we can lift our arms up overhead and stretch them, creating more length and just breathing here. Maybe closing your eyes for a moment. Again, trying to bring that softness to this moment, wherever you are in the pose. Try to enjoy it. Let go of any resistance. Soften wherever you feel tension. If we're all the way down on the ground, then we can come up the same way we came down by first coming up onto our elbows and then pressing our palms into the mat, coming all the way up. And just bringing our weight all the way forward, coming into a child's pose again. Just for a moment, maybe shifting the weight from side to side in our hips. From this child's pose, we come all the way up to a downward facing dog. Stretching out those legs. Maybe pedaling the legs. And stepping our feet forward, bringing our legs out in front of us. We're going to come into our last pose before Shavasana. So laying down on the ground, palms facing down at our sides. We're going to bend our knees, bring them into the chest, press through our palms and lift our hips so that they come off the mat, bringing our knees to our forehead. Now, if possible, try to follow my direction without looking at the screen once we're upside down, because this is not very safe for the neck to move the neck in this posture. Now from here, we're going to bring our palms to our lower back, supporting our spine and bringing our elbows as close as possible towards each other. If this feels fine for us, we can try to straighten our legs overhead, activating both legs, pointing the toes, bringing our chest towards our chin and not the opposite. Making sure there's not too much pressure on the neck, but the weight is primarily in the shoulders. allowing this pose to really bring us some relaxation by bringing oxygen to the brain, relaxing the nervous system. And from here, we have two options, either bringing our knees to our forehead, or we come all the way back to Halasana or plow pose, maybe supporting our back or maybe interlacing our fingers behind our back. And if your legs are on the ground here, we want to activate the legs, so lifting the kneecaps. Otherwise, you're here with the knees on the forehead, that's also fine. Or if you're almost at the ground, you can place a bolster or a pillow and rest your feet on that. Otherwise, stay here for a moment and just breathing. Bringing your palms back to support your lower back. We're going to bend our knees, rest them on our forehead, and slowly help to guide our hips back down towards the mat. Maybe bringing our knees in towards our chest, shifting our weight back and forth. Maybe making some circles around the sacrum, massaging our lower back. And stretching out our legs, preparing for Shavasana. So feet are mat distance apart. Our toes are pointing outwards. We bring our palms away from our body, face up towards the ceiling. And we lengthen the back of the neck, bringing the chin in towards the chest. And here we just begin to relax the entire body. So scanning the body, seeing where we feel tension, seeing where we can let go. Feeling the body becoming heavier, sinking and melting into the ground. Facial muscles are relaxed. The space between the eyebrows, the jaw, relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. And Shavasana is the most important pose in our entire asana practice. And this is because it is much more difficult to keep our mind still when our body is still as well. When our body is active, it's a lot easier because we're busy in the moment. When we're in stillness, the practice of bringing our mind to stillness as well is where we really start to reap the benefits of yoga, the real benefits. So let's practice letting go of our mental body and being in this body-centered awareness, just observing the effects of this practice. Gently starting to bring movement back into our body by wiggling our fingers and our toes. And stretching both arms overhead, interlacing the fingers. Taking one last full body stretch, maybe pointing the toes. And then releasing the stretch and rolling onto the right side of our body, bringing our knees into our chest. Taking a moment here. And using our left palm to press into the ground. With our eyes closed, we help ourselves up to seated. Bringing our palms together at the center of our heart. And bowing our chin lightly. Checking in with our awareness. Noticing if anything's shifted, if anything changed, opened up. And taking a moment of gratitude for this practice, for setting the time and space for ourselves to contribute to our well-being. And may this practice be beneficial not only for ourselves, but also to all the people around us. Namaste. Thank you all for joining.